My name is Khou, and I was born in the refugee camp. I have lived through a few refugee camps, so there were different experiences. Where I came from, money was above the law. With money, you can do pretty much anything, get away with anything. And so, with some money, my parents and grandparents were able to bribe the guards to let us out and live in a small village up in the tropics, in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, with just a few other families. But eventually, the Thai government said that we couldn't stay there anymore because we were born in Laos and were refugees from Laos. So we came back to the refugee camp. And what I remember at that point, I was old enough at 8 years old at that time. And so what I remember was just fear, It was just unclean. The refugee camp was unclean. It was so fearful. Everything we did was bound to be punished in a way. So anything you did wrong there, they punish you. The guards punish you. And this was Chiang Kham refugee camp. Barbed wires were surrounding us. Guard towers with guards and the machine guns were up there, making sure no one goes out or in. And if anyone does go out and in, there were people that tried to go near it, and they claimed that they were gonna go out. The guards claimed that they were gonna go out, and I shot them. And so they were the executioners too, besides just being the guard there. And so I remember just being fearful there. We definitely were subjected to strict laws, unlike the free folks who were outside of the refugee camps who could do a lot of things. We weren't able to do those things. And so, in a third world country of Thailand at that time and in Laos, my parents' experience and my experience, the government suppresses us so much that we couldn't really practice or do the things that we love doing, religious-wise, or just the freedom to sustain a life, just building a good life, having a farm, having food, and the necessities year-round. That was hard enough the way. That was difficult, depending on nature and with very little technology at that time. Coming to America, our elders never really bounced back. We talk about resiliency time and again, but our elders never really bounced back. There's a lot of trauma that they are still going through or living through. PTSD for a lot of the elders. Our elders try to teach us our religion and the love for the land, the love for life, and supporting where we live. The younger folks, we try to bring back what we could. I've been here in America for 30 years now, and so some of the other ones that have been here even longer, we try to build new life here and just rebuild what we had. We have lost our culture, our language, our home for decades, and now we're trying to rebuild a home here. So bringing back cultural centers, reteach our language to our children, whom a lot of them are not even able to speak the language anymore. Bringing back our love for nature, because we believe in shamanism and animism. So everything around us, the land has a spirit, the river, the trees, the rocks, the fish, everything has a spirit. And so just like us, we have a spirit. We try to bring those back as much as we can to rebuild a new home here in America. But to the elders, they never really bounce back. It's just that us, the younger generation, we try to adapt and adopt things here and try to adjust, and at the same time preserving as much as we can that could help us remember home. It doesn't matter who we are, we're still going to be who we are. We will not change completely. Doesn't matter what happens. Our culture, our tradition, we are going to continue to practice. It's going to be a part of us no matter what. So bring it back, practice it, value it, and just keep it as part of us.